Hello, everyone, and welcome to Maple Grove High School for CTN's coverage of the Section 5 AA Girls Soccer Semifinal. Number 1 seeded Crimson welcoming the number 5 seed Coon Rapids Cardinals. Joe Young, Howie Shapiro up above, and Howie, the Cardinals coming off a big emotional lift that they got on Tuesday night with a shootout victory over Spring Lake Park to get to the semifinal round.
It's confidence that you build, especially in the way that they did it. They scored on all 5 of their attempts, so that brings a lot of confidence. They play Maple Grove, very good team, number 1 seed, for a reason, but they played them fairly tight, just in a 3-1 loss not too long ago at Coon Rapids. It'll be a challenge, but I think if they keep it close, they have an opportunity to stay in the game.
Yeah, just over a week ago on their home turf, the Cardinals did lose 3-1. Maple Grove in control of most of that contest, but the Cardinals hung right with them and kept in it. They're going to need to do the same here tonight if they hope to move on to Tuesday's championship round. There's a look at the brackets so far. Maple Grove blowing past Park Center in the quarterfinal round, 6-0. Champlin Park a 4-1 win over Irondale, and Centennial 4-rip over Osseo. So the only upset was the number 5 Cardinals getting past number 4 Spring Lake Park.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is the home seed throughout for these section playoffs. So if Maple Grove gets past, like we saw the boys win handily 10-1, they'll play at their home field to go to state. If Maple Grove can get past Coon Rapids, they will do the same.
Yeah, if the boys, that is, of course, if the Cardinals are able to win the other semifinal, which is going on tonight.
Yes.
Up in Duluth East. Duluth East, the number 1 seed. So the Maple Grove boys could be taking that long bus ride should the Greyhounds hold serve against the Cardinals up north tonight. But certainly we're hoping that just the boys will be playing here on Tuesday night, and that both Coon Rapids squads will be advancing to championship rounds. It's all or nothing. This section tournament is here. Semifinal action starts next on CTN.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
It's a high-class affair for the section semifinals. The fans bringing out their Sunday best. Crimson have their crowd behind them as the number 1 seed in Section 5 AA. They've earned that right. They are ranked in the state's top 5.
Yeah, we saw them a couple weeks ago. They are good.
Cardinals hoping to come in and be the underdog that knocks him out. The top seed does not always reach the finish line, as we know all too well from years past. Let's take a look at the starters for today's contest. First for the Cardinals, Genevieve Swanson and Maddie Bloomquist are up front, along with Alyssa Brazier and Caitlin Ackerman. The defenders are Faith Kutsia, Peyton Taylor, Maddie Lodato, Ava Johnston, Madeline Karen, and Courtney Ackerman. Mackenzie Langenfeld is the goalkeeper. For the Crimson, Manon McMahon and Shelby Handberg up front. The midfielders are Maya Omar, Meredith Hackinson, Zaya Alam, and Lauren Bredensteiner. The defenders, L.J. Kalaji, Brenna Saladin, Jasmine Gates, and Maddie Rada. The goaltender is Sarah Cortez.
You know, we were talking to Coach Worley before the contest, and realizing that they just have to put the pressure on, and if they can get an early lead and put a little pressure on Maple Grove, get them back on their heels a little bit, just play really well defensively, but put the ball in the back of the net. That's going to be the key.
Well, it looks like they are loose. They're all smiling, and that's a great thing. And of course, a little less pressure on them. The pressure on the high seed, as always.
Yes.
Look at first-year head coach Carl Worley, and he also talked about how many seniors he has and how important the game is for them, and he didn't have to remind them.
No.
They knew coming in that every time they touch the field now it could be their last, so they will play with a little bit of desperation.
There's no question about it. They don't want their season to end, and especially as a senior, because then your career at high school on the soccer field is now over. So everybody's going to put their heart into this game. They're going to play hard, and they're going to play to the end. There's head coach Ben Levon. Had a chance to talk to him as well, and his girls are ready for this challenge as well.
Yeah, and talking to him a little bit about the emotional high the Cardinals would be coming in on, and he didn't let on that it's a huge concern, but you could tell that, his team had a relatively easy win.
They did.
In the first round, and they certainly want to come out and establish stuff early and make sure that they don't let the Cardinals hang around, because that's when things get dangerous.
And I think this field's going to come into play, especially for Maple Grove, because they've got some athletes and they've got some speed, and they're used to this turf. Coon Rapids did win that game against Spring Lake Park the other night on turf, but this is a good Maple Grove team.
Well, and they're working it down the wing right away to Hackinson. Hackinson playing it back. That was broken up there by Bloomquist and moved along, but taken right back by Maple Grove, and they'll reset back out to Kalaji.
Well, the one thing, if Maple Grove grabs an early lead, they have
long shot in from Alam, easily handled by Langenfeld.
They have to make sure that they don't let the lead grow. They want to just keep it close. Like I said, they would love to score that first goal and get on top early and put a little pressure on the Crimson.
When they met a week ago, Maple Grove did score relatively early, and then scored one kind of late in that first half, had a 2-0 lead going to the locker room. Coon Rapids played them much stronger in the second half.
They did.
But they were down 3-0 before getting the goal with about 4 minutes left to avoid the shutout. And that's a big concern, of course. This Coon Rapids team has had trouble finding the back of the net a lot of this season. And you mentioned the field. A lot of these players, although it's not their home field, a lot of these players obviously do play on turf throughout the summer and play on a true soccer pitch.
Correct.
Which it's not just the matter of the turf, but the crowning of the field. And you hear players and especially coaches complaining about the crowning of the football fields. It just makes it so much more difficult to play along the sidelines and to control the ball along the edges. A little bit easier to do that with a truly flat surface, corner to corner.
Well, on that win the other night, 5 different players scored a goal. Shelby Hamburg scored a couple. But they get distribution from a number of different players, and that's the key to being a good squad. If you can get contribution from a number of players, put a lot of goals in the back of the net, you're going to be a good squad.
Here's Alam with it, waiting, and now playing it into the corner where Omar can run onto it. Not able to keep it in bounds. Another goal kick coming up for the Cardinals. Oh, they rule offside before it went out. And it'll be Courtney Ackerman taking the free kick. Headed back in the Crimson direction by Hackinson. And they build with numbers quickly, working along the right side. That shot just way up and over.
Well, they certainly like to pressure offensively, and you could see it there. Good job on the wing, but just a little bit too much underneath it.
Yeah, and they're going to bring their midfielders up into the attack quite a bit, as we saw last week when these two teams faced off. They like to get everybody involved, and they'll bring 6 or 7 girls down into the attacking end well within the 18-yard box and be able to control and really bring a lot of pressure. And Bredensteiner, one of those that really will drive it down the wings. And she has it now on that right side, trying to work back to the middle, and now leaving it back where she can get a little help. The cross out front is shot and a goal for Maya Omar.
Again, just a nice play and crashing that side. Defensively, the Cardinals weren't there on that wing, and Maya Omar with a nice goal. Mia, or is it Maya?
Probably Mia.
I think it's Mia.
Since I said it the other way, I'm sure that I'm wrong. Well, wait, the announcer should know.
He should. And just a nice feed right there. She gets behind the defense and puts it in the top of the net for an early lead for the Crimson.
Well designed, well finished.
Yes.
In just the 5th minute. Mia,
you were correct. No, you said Maya.
No, I said Maya.
That's right.
So you knew I was wrong.
Mostly wrong. You had the M right.
And the
And the
Out off the Cardinals, so a corner kick coming up for Maple Grove as they put it right back into the Cardinal end and bring some more pressure.
Well, I think it's important for the Cardinals to see if they can respond here. Obviously, we talked about the fact that Maple Grove can score goals. They're very efficient offensively.
Served out into the middle and a shot and another goal, and just like that, the Crimson are on top by 2.
Well,
2 goals less than a minute apart.
And you look at the numbers in front of the Cardinal net. So many white jerseys there, and they get that through ball. And
Abby Schulte able to finish it off.
not even 5 minutes have gone by. It's 2-0 Maple Grove. I mean, this is a beautiful play, a good set right from the corner kick. And she just settled it to Schulte, and she's able to put it past.
Yeah, it was Mann and McMahon that got up and trapped it, and it went right to Schulte, and she finished. It was a great start off the corner kick by Alam. And now the Cardinals right where they did not want to be.
No.
Just over 5 minutes into the contest, they're down 2-0. The boys Crimson team just destroyed Rogers on this same field moments ago, beating them 10-1. And the Cardinals want to make sure that they make this one a bit closer than that.
Well, Coach Worley looked at the score and says, "It better not be us on that type of a score." And you know, the girls, like you said, the girls, especially the seniors, are really ready to play this contest. They don't want their season to end, obviously, but this is a tall task in front of them.
In the middle is Kalaji. She'll touch the ball a lot here tonight. They do a really nice job of working the ball through their midfielders and help in getting their midfielders to set things up and kind of build the attack from there. And
yep.
Kalaji, we saw last week, will get plenty of touches.
Yes, she will. No question about it.
Cardinals at least clearing it onto the Maple Grove side of the field, but you know, it's on the one hand, it's a good strategy to keep it as far away from your net as possible. You got to try and move that ball with some possession because you don't want to just keep giving it back to a team like Maple Grove that is, as I mentioned, so good at moving it from their defenders through their midfielders up to their forwards and just building the attack a whole 120 yards.
Well, and then, you know, the fact they're up 2-0, it gives them a little even more confidence to continue to work that offense. And I mean, you talked about the passing is so efficient.
Bredensteiner trying to tap it, didn't get much on that. And Langenfeld able to come out and smother it before it can get to the attackers out in front of her net. Swanson will leave this one back. Bloomquist taps it past one Maple Grove defender, runs over another, but then finally taken away by a lob. Some Crimson fans calling out, wanted a foul called as Bloomquist ran over the Crimson player. Ackerman can't steal it away from Alam. Courtney challenging now, trying to feed it into the corner and right back out front, but Maple Grove outside again. And again, you get 4 girls in white jerseys down there on the attack, pushing that back line of defense. It's the second offside they've had already, but you know, when you bring 4 attackers in and you only have 4 defenders back there, all of a sudden the odds are in your favor as the offensive team. Cardinals have to see that adjust and start to bring more defenders back to make sure that they're not giving up 1v1s across that back line.
Well, you saw the amount of defenders that the Cardinals are employing tonight, and that's what they needed to do. They needed to make sure that Maple Grove did not get the ball inside. And We've seen the Crimson do a good job of just doing that, just that.
Good job by Hackinson to find some open room, get off a solid shot, but there for the save is Langenfeld. Swanson can't control. Alam trying to take it away. Swanson got it back, pushed it ahead. And moving along with it now is Peyton Taylor. Tried to cut back, waiting for some support. Got it now for Kudzia. Trying to get it for Swanson. Swanson battling with Lodato. Lodato trying to step over. Those two tangled up and both go down in the ink. The whistle blows. The foul will go against Swanson. Doesn't get much better than that replay.
Maybe they're looking for a little four-leaf clover, but they're not going to find one in the turf.
Here, let's try this look.
There you go.
Well, yeah, you use your hands a little bit too much.
A little bit.
And then end up on the wrong side of Kalaji as she came down right on top of Swanson. And another steal, and here come the Crimson again, poking it in behind. Trying to pass it back out front, and that is a huge clear right there by Courtney Ackerman.
I don't think she needed to make that extra pass. I mean, she had a wide open goal. I'm not sure. I'm a little surprised she didn't take the shot.
Good job by McMahon.
She tried to clear it back, but yeah.
Yeah, she didn't have the angle. She was well marked by Bloomquist.
At first it looked like it.
But she knew she had support behind her. Fortunately for Coon Rapids, Courtney Ackerman able to get there first and clear it away.
Yes, good play defensively for the Cardinals.
Certainly need to keep this lead from getting any larger for these very tough Crimson. They're offside again. But again, you see them attacking with 5 and 6 girls.
Well, yeah, and that's the key. I mean, you know, in this particular game, when they're up 2-0, they can afford to have a few offsides. But it's just their offense is so strong, and you see, as you mentioned, 4 or 5 girls attacking, making it really difficult for the Cardinal defense.
And again, the Cardinals need to recognize that, adjust, bring some more bodies back, and try and make sure that they're outnumbering the Crimson on the defensive end with speed through the middle. Hackinson, left-footed shot, save, rebound, and a goal, and the Crimson make it 3-0 just 12 minutes in.
Yeah, and again, just your relentless offense for the Crimson. You just did a nice job. Nice job controlling the ball, and they get behind that defense, leaving an easy opportunity for a goal for Maple Grove. Just what a great attack, is good control as she's able to step around a defender. Langenfeld got a piece of the first shot, but there's no denying that goal.
McMahon getting the goal. Now has a goal and an assist. And here comes Hackinson again, and she's a big part of their offense. She's another one that gets a lot of touches and is really good at drawing defense and setting up her teammates. That cross went out of bounds on the far side. Another goal kick for the Cardinals.
Well, you know, we talked about three goals scored by Maple Grove in that first contest a week ago. Already 3 in the first 12 minutes. The Crimson. We're going to see some substitutions come in for the Cardinals. But definitely not how they drew this up.
Oh, they're going to do like a wholesale. They got 6 girls lined up now. Make it 7. Red jerseys ready. They're going to pretty much switch them all out.
Well, Coach Worley looking for some sort of way to stop this bleeding here early on.
Yeah, they've done a lot of playing in their defensive end.
They have.
And not a lot of opportunity for them really to control the ball at all. And again, it seems the first instinct for the Cardinals is just clear the ball. And It's a dangerous way to play against a team
Yes,
that's
it
so
is.
good in transition as Maple Grove. That is going to go wide, out of bounds, and a goal kick coming up for the Cardinals. Already the 5th goal kick of the game, and here they come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. New faces
No, you haven't.
on the field.
You haven't changed to the SAP button on your television. That is Joe Young's Spanish lesson for the day.
Bringing in a lot of fresh faces, a lot of fresh legs, and see if that can help get some things turned back in their direction. Again, booted to that Maple Grove back line, but look how quickly they settle things. They spread it around, and they will build from one end to the other. Rada playing it to the far side. Pass slips past Alam, and the Cardinals able to turn it around momentarily. Stopped up by Saladin and turned right back in by Hanazan for Coon Rapids. Here's Kalaji. She couldn't control. Comes back to Zahn, and now working the near side. Here's Hackinson, leaving it off again for Saladin. And along the sidelines for Mia Omar. And here's Kalaji. And she will try to reverse the field, laying that through ball into the far side. Battle over there with Maddie Haas for the Cardinals, along with Bretton Steiner. Lost out the end line. Another goal kick for Coon Rapids.
Yeah, but again, you can see the pressure Maple Grove puts on. They just do such a good job of moving the ball up the field, and that's how they create opportunities for themselves.
And just a very aggressive approach so far from Maple Grove. Every ball they have an opportunity on, they are challenging, and many of them, they are winning the ball. And that is helping them keep it deep in the Coon Rapids end and keep that pressure on the net. Here's Hackinson again. Ahead for McMahon. McMahon will play it into the middle. Hackinson, a header and a goal. It's 4-0.
Wow. I mean, and again, they just cleared that to the set. Hackinson doing a nice job. She created some space.
Not even midway through this first half, a 4-0 lead for Maple Grove.
And we'll see it again. Just a nice job. There you see her coming into the picture.
That was a great header.
Yeah, and then right over Langenfeld. Not much she can do about it.
And again, you know, those passes, the Cardinals aren't coming back to the ball.
No.
Hackinson beats her to it. And here come the Crimson on the attack again. Omar in the corner will cross it out front. Courtney Ackerman able to get ahead on it. That's Kavanaugh trying to push it forward for the Cardinals. And Maddie Haas will poke it toward the sidelines, out of bounds. A throw in for Maple Grove.
Yeah, we talked about this thing. If it gets out of hand, it's going to be really tough for Coon Rapids to get back into this contest, because you mentioned earlier they're a team that's been having difficulty scoring goals this season, at least consistently.
Well, and already out of hand, really. If you look at it,
Right.
Less than midway through the first half. Haven't had a sniff at the offensive end, and Maple Grove already has them down by 4.
Yeah. You know, and again, they came in with a lot of confidence, no question about it. But we talked about it in the opening. On Coon Rapids' home field, they played them tough.
Long shot in. Langenfeld able to knock it down, unable to control it. Cleared out of bounds on the far side.
It'll be interesting at halftime. We'll hopefully get a chance to talk to Coach Worley and get his opinions on this first half. Still more than half of it to go.
Well, and hopefully things get a little bit better for his squad between now and then. I can't imagine he's very happy at this point with the way his team has performed thus far. Certainly not the position they wanted to be in, and the position they knew they couldn't allow themselves to get into is falling behind early to such a strong team.
Oh, no question about it. I mean, they're in probably the worst situation they can possibly be in against a team that that scores a lot of goals.
And again, once the Cardinals get it near midfield, the Crimson able to regain control, and they take their time. They're patient, and they work the ball. And we saw this last week as well. They're very good at spreading out, staying patient, passing to build the attack.
Yeah, we've seen it all half long so far. They just do a really good job of moving the ball upfield efficiently and quickly.
When you don't have the ball, you have to have the urgency to go get it.
Correct.
When you have the ball, you need to be patient and move it. And that's exactly what this Crimson squad has done so far. That one in on a hop to Langenfeld, an easy save. 7th shot on goal already for Maple Grove. 4 of them to the back of the net.
That's efficient.
Played up front for Caitlin Ackerman, trying to pass. That's broken up. And here come the Crimson again. Omar in the middle of the field. Leaves it off for Alam. And working on the far side. Jasmine Gates ahead for Bredensteiner. The cross out front. Too tall for Hackinson. Settled by Omar, played back into the middle. Alam heads it toward the net, going wide, scooped up there by Langenfeld.
Yeah, a little bit too much. She tried to play it through, but a little bit too much on that, and Langenfeld came with the ball, able to clear it away, but no time down in the Crimson end by the Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinal possession on the positive side of midfield is almost 0. Through the first 21 minutes of play, they trail the Crimson 4-0. The Crimson, the number 1 seed in the section and the number 3 ranked team in the state for a reason.
Yes, they are.
Lost just 1 game all season. 2 games. They lost their regular season finale,
Correct.
I believe. But a very good soccer squad, and now you see the wholesale substitution again for the visiting Cardinals, serving as a little bit of a wake-up call, hopefully, for some of the more veteran players who started the game and then got yanked after giving up 4 straight.
And you look at Sarah Cortez, the goaltender for Maple Grove. She's had no action. She's pretty much just standing with her arms crossed. She hasn't been tested at all. Of course, the Cardinals haven't been down in that end. There you see her.
She could be doing some psychology or math homework.
She could.
With how much time she's had
No
to be by
question.
herself down there, nice and quiet.
Alone with your thoughts.
Cardinals hoping that they can change that relatively soon. Here comes Kalaji again, leading the attack down the left wing. Working one-on-one, gets around the corner, trying to center, broken up by Courtney. A shot right in, Langenfeld makes the save. Cardinals able to clear. Caitlin Ackerman gets it further away from the net.
Kalaji, great foot movement, great ability to get around a defender.
And then a point-blank opportunity.
Yep.
Turned away by Langenfeld.
Yeah, Langenfeld came up big on that save.
This one out of bounds off of Kudzia.
Take another look at him. Just a great job of getting past. Got her foot on it. But a great job by Kalaji to get around the defense. and get that opportunity for the look on net.
Crimson will bring some fresh bodies onto the field. 17:05 to play here in the first half. And Maple Grove in complete control, leading 4-0.
Yeah, he has to feel pretty good about where his squad is here in this first half, up 4-0.
Well, it's such a great tournament for them so far. A 6-0 win in the first round. And now a 4-0 lead here just over midway through the first half of the semifinal round. And that was actually a good thing for the Crimson to do right there. Play it all the way back to Sarah Cortez. Let her touch the ball. There was no danger, but you know, you talk about her being kind of lonely back there.
Well, she has been.
We joke about it a little bit, but that can be actually very dangerous for your goaltender to get, you know, kind of sleepy and not used to playing the ball. And then if once pressure does come, for her to be ready is a bit of a challenge. Ackerman flung to the ground, and that'll bring a foul against Maple Grove.
Take another look at it, doing a nice job of trying to get it upfield.
Contact there with Meredith Hackinson. Courtney Ackerman will take the free kick, and she will go direct at the net. Takes a hop and just about over Cortez, but Cortez able to take it in. And that's the kind of shot you want your keeper to see.
Yes.
Had a long time to look at that ball coming in. Corrals it relatively easily in front of Genevieve Swanson. Another foul, another Cardinal free kick from the Maple Grove side of the field. And they'll go direct again, and this one will just trickle in. Easy save again for Cortez. Got to count it as a shot on goal. If she wasn't there, would have scored. And here come the Crimson once more. Good little give and go along the near sidelines. Cross out front, scooped up by Langenfeld.
You see the time remaining in this first half, a little over 14 minutes. Cardinals really yet to mount a threat.
Throw in, headed right back out by Lexi Miller. Another Cardinal throw in. Ackerman trying to head it toward the corner. Didn't get the angle she wanted. Back out of bounds this time. Crimson throw it. Dangerous pass right there from Meredith Hackinson, but fortunately for her, was able to get through. Swanson not quite able to catch up. Here's McMahon challenging Ackerman one-on-one. Support comes, pass comes back to the near side, and now back out front. McMahon has her second goal. A great cross back to the front by Lexi Miller.
That was almost too easy. So they do a nice job of just moving the ball, and then they'll give and go. Man, and McMahon with 2 goals, as you mentioned. They see it, just a nice job getting to the wing, getting it, clearing it in front. McMahon is there behind the defense to make it 5-0.
And a great job of passing. Again, they set it up. She passes it and then goes to open space. And a breakdown on the defense. Cardinals did not mark one of their strongest goal scorers. And an easy tap in for her. McMahon with 3 points in the game, 2 goals and an assist already. A 5-0 lead for Maple Grove.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a tough lead to even make a dent in at this point.
Atkinson's cross broken up. Cardinals trying to turn it around, get it back upfield. Great job stealing it back by McMahon. Miller gets it into the middle for Hannah Zahn. Far side is Kalaji. Kalaji had her pass broken up by Caitlin Ackerman and sent back near midfield, where the white jerseys have the numbers, and they'll just reestablish possession. Kalaji playing it back to the back line of defense, now near side for Saladin. Turning with it is McMahon into the middle. Cardinals clear it to the far side, played right back into the middle. Bounces away from Miller, cleared by Courtney Ackerman. Here's Hackinson. Boy, is she fast, and she has just been nonstop all over the field. At some point, I think she's got to get tired, doesn't she?
You would think so, but you know, they're all very young compared to you and I, especially me. Yeah, they probably could run all day, I would imagine.
More so than you or I could.
Well,
definitely
me.
Kalaji to the back post. The header, though, up and out of play, and a goal kick coming up for the Cardinals. Good position by Mia Omar. Just didn't get the angle she wanted on it. Crimson rolling in some substitutions. Cardinals send Maddie Haas back onto the court, rink.
Arena.
Ring. Pool.
Circle.
Octagon, what? Again, the Crimson just moving the ball so well with purpose. That pass just a bit too far in front of the charging attacker. And Langenfeld able to scoop it up and clear it away. Cardinals settle. Lodato moving it ahead. Back for Caitlin Ackerman. Now pushed forward by Lodato again. Crimson again moving the ball. Lexi Miller into the middle for Luca Ralph. And now fired ahead by Hannah Zahn. Crossed out front. Redirected, goes wide, out of play, a goal kick for the Cardinals.
Get another offensive charge for Maple Grove there. You know, at 5-0, they're certainly not letting up at any point.
It's one of my favorite names on the field right there, Jenna Fondakowski.
It's a good one.
Four syllables, call them Fondakowski.
I guess Centennial's up over Champlain Park, 1-0 at the half. Got an update.
The well-connected Howie Shapiro.
Oh, I've got my minions.
Ackerman stepping in to break up the pass again for Coon Rapids. Try and get turned back upfield. She'll carry along the left wing. Challenge comes and break it up, but then the pass back out of bounds. And a throw in for the Cardinals near midfield.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation to be in if you're Coon Rapids. You're playing the #1 seed, #3 in the state, and you're trailing 5-0. You still have a little less than 8 minutes left in the half, and you've got to figure out how to try at least attempt to get into this game.
On the 2 Cardinal shot attempts, both off of free kicks, and neither that really challenged the goalkeeper, Sarah Cortez. And again, Maple Grove controlled most of that game last week. The Cardinals able to keep them from getting as many great scoring opportunities, though, and they've certainly found the key here tonight. As you see Langenfeld coming up to challenge the cross and take it away.
Well, I like the fact that she was aggressive and went off her hands, and she continued to pursue the ball to make sure that that she was able to gather it in.
Ackerman moving it along the near sideline, trying to get Mackenzie Nash a chance. This one played back to Cortez. She clears it. Swanson can't quite catch up to it. It's right back to Fondakowski and played back to the near side. Settled and moved along by Ellingson. Miller had it stolen away by Lodato. Will give and go. Lodato can't catch up to it. Miller plays it back to the defender, and Rada will send it across so Abby Jacobs can move it forward. Stopped up by Courtney Ackerman. And out the far side, a throw in for Maple Grove.
Well, just like we're going to hopefully talk to Coach Worley, we're going to hopefully talk to Coach Levon at the break before they start that second half, just to see what he says to his girls with this kind of a lead, and how you stay into this game and how you stay positive, and which they do, but how do you stay, make sure Coon Rapids, you don't give anything to Coon Rapids and let them come back.
Well, we talk so often in these situations about not letting a team hang around. Well,
Nope.
Maple Grove has certainly not done that.
Definitely not.
They came out hard on the gas, and they have not let up.
No, and very impressive. You know, we saw them on grass a week ago, but on turf, they're even more impressive because they can use that speed.
Well, and again, it does make a big difference as far as how easy it is to control the action along the sidelines. I mean, remember, on a football field, the field is crowned to allow for rain runoff, so the sidelines are rounded.
Right.
And it makes it much more difficult to control the ball along the sidelines, and it essentially means you have to play on a skinnier field. And you see Maple Grove, how good they are at spreading the field, spreading out and moving the ball and passing in order to find open girls and to stretch the defense out, get the defense running around.
Well, yeah, and they're able to use this entire field, and that's really the key. They're able to use the field and find those angles a lot easier, I believe, on this turf than they do on grass. And we watched them, even though they beat Coon Rapids 3-1, they weren't efficient like we're seeing here tonight.
Middle of the field is Mackenzie Ray, moving it ahead and over the head of Genevieve Swanson, turned around by Rada for Maple Grove. And again, we see the Crimson oftentimes, once they reestablish possession, they will move it all the way back and then move forward as a team. Luca Ralph moving it up the sidelines. Here comes the cross. Lodato broke it up, but it spun out of bounds off the end line, and another corner kick coming up for Maple Grove.
And we saw how dangerous Maple Grove is when they have that opportunity for the corner kick. Coon Rapids, with 3:15 to go, want to keep the scoring done here for the first half.
They go to the short post, broken up by Caitlin Ackerman. Played back out to midfield where Maddie Bloomquist has it. Trying to get it to Jenna Swanson on the left wing. Swanson trying to get around the corner on Rada. Will try and cut back. Rada able to break it up. Here comes Caitlin Ackerman to send it toward the middle. That was stopped up by Ellingson. Here's Caitlin again. Caitlin in, closest shot, and Cortez makes the save and then dives out to cover it up.
And that's her first real action that she's had to make a save like that. Good little pressure in here late in this half by Ackerman. She puts it right into Cortez. Cortez played the rebound but had to scamper out to get it.
Very important piece of the Cardinal puzzle this season, the Ackerman twins.
No question.
Caitlin on the offensive end and Courtney on the defensive end, both very good athletes. And Caitlin last year during the basketball season really impressed me with her work ethic and her intensity. She is a competitor, no question.
Yep, no question about it.
And I love to see the kids that love to play and love to compete.
Right.
You can be the best athlete on the field and not be as intense and aggressive and competitive as a player who is not the best player on the field. And sometimes it's that aggressiveness, that intensity, and the competitiveness
and the heart to play
that makes the difference.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, some you can see some kids that aren't as skilled as maybe others, but just play that much harder, and they sometimes have to compensate and overcompensate a little bit for maybe a little bit of lack of athleticism. But the fact that they play hard and they don't stop playing into the final whistle is really important.
Down to the final minute of this first half, Maple Grove in complete control, 5-0 on the scoreboard. Scored 2 goals in the 5th minute, added another in the 12th, went up by 4 in the 16th minute, and made it 5-0 on Manon McMahon's second goal of the game with 13:11 remaining in this first half. This one played in on goal, and Cortez will take care of it.
Last seconds ticking away in this half. And Cardinals have to have some work to do before they take the pitch again.
Yeah, not the first half. They were hoping for exactly what Maple Grove wanted to do in the opening half. They are up by 5 at the break. We'll take a break. Be back with more from Maple Grove High School after this. You're watching the Section 5 AA Girls Soccer Semifinal on CTN. Back at Maple Grove High School, the Crimson a 5-0 lead in this section semifinal as we get to the half. We're joined now by Coon Rapids assistant coach Shelby Zimmel. And Coach, certainly not what you guys were hoping for when you came in tonight.
No, not at all. We played them at our place just over a month ago, and it was 3-1, and we held them pretty well, and we played our soccer. And today I'm not quite sure where our mindset's at, and I'm hoping that it can regroup by 7 minutes and come back and be ready to play.
Shelby, you were just saying before we went on air, I wonder what he's saying to the girls here. What do you think he's talking to the girls about here at the break?
You know, he simply asked me, what do I say to them? And I said, it's got to be something these seniors. I mean, we got 10, 12 seniors on this team, and are they playing senior soccer? No, but can they come back and play senior soccer? Yes, and that's what I think he's trying to get across in there is, can you play senior soccer, and can the younger kids step up and help these seniors get to where they want to be on Saturday?
All right, well, thank you for joining us, and we'll let you get back to the team.
Thank you.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
You bet. Take a look at the first half highlights. All Maple Grove. It happened quick. They came out and got on the board early and often. 2 goals in the 5th minute, just 49 seconds apart. And they just kept coming. Man and McMahon had a pair of goals in the game. A great setup by McMahon in between there. She's actually got 2 goals and 2 assists, a 4-point first half for Manon McMahon, and they are cruising, are the Crimson, and we talked about it. They were up, they won 6-0 in the quarterfinals, now 5-0 through the first half here in the semis.
Well, obviously, they did pretty much whatever they wanted offensively to Coon Rapids in that first half. You look at shots attempted, 12, 9 of those on net, 5 of those hit the back of the net. That is very efficient, and we know we'll talk to Coach Levon what he thought of it, but he's got to be pretty happy with the way that this first half has started for his squad.
Absolutely. We'll take another break and hopefully get his reaction in just a moment. More section semifinal action coming up next on CTN.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Back at Maple Grove High School, halftime of this section semifinal contest, in the top-seeded Crimson with a commanding 5-0 lead over the Coon Rapids Cardinals. We're joined now by Maple Grove head coach Ben Levon. And Coach, this has got to be exactly what you were hoping for.
Well, you can't start out much better than we did. It was very, very focused by the girls, and it was nice to see them come out and play the way they intended to.
What did you talk about with them at the break and how they continue this effort in the second half?
We're really trying to move the ball quickly. As we're moving forward, speed of play is something we're working on, and especially getting into finding those open spaces. That's always something we can continue to work on.
Well, we want to thank you for joining us. Good luck in the second half. We'll take another break, and we will be back with that second half action right after this. You're watching section semifinal action on CTN.
What are you, superheroes?
Just 4 brothers who hate bullies and love this city. Gear up, guys.
A little field level view as we get ready for the start of the second half. This Section 5 AA semifinal has been all Maple Grove. The top-seeded Crimson came out fast, and they have absolutely dominated through the first 40 minutes. Coon Rapids needs to come out here and just try and chip away at it one at a time. And it starts with just getting a little more possession and getting some pressure at the Maple Grove end. Cortez really not challenged at all in that first half.
No, just really one opportunity for Coon Rapids at the end of that first half, but not a real difficult shot on net, and Cortez able to come up with the save. But, you're right, though.
And just like that, Abby Schulte gets her second of the night less than a minute into this second half.
Yeah, that was a quick goal to start this second half, no question about it.
In the 41st minute of play, the Crimson make it a 6-0 lead. Such a tough job to be the goalkeeper.
Well, yeah, especially when
Langenfeld just no way you're going to cover that much net. And that was a beautiful setup by Bredensteiner and perfectly executed by Schulte to get her second of the game and make it a 6-0 lead for the Crimson.
Yeah, again, the action stays down in the Crimson end.
Played into the corner. Bredensteiner will play it out front. A header, and that's up over the cage. And a goal kick coming up. And again, that's a big difference. What you saw right there, off the pass, you saw the Coon Rapids player waiting for that ball to come to him. And watch when Maple Grove is passing, they will come to the ball. And that can make all the difference in the world. And that has been a big part of why Maple Grove has had so much possession. They're more aggressive going after loose balls. And when they do have it and have possession, you see how good they are at working it around, passing it, and working as a team. This one cleared away out of danger by Courtney Ackerman.
Again, the Cardinals just trying their best to keep that ball away from the middle. But Maple Grove they're really impressive. They do so much with the ball. They've got so many athletes that can get involved.
That shot deflected, goes wide, and it will be a corner kick coming up for Maple Grove.
A lot of smiles on those Crimson players because they
easy to smile when you're up by 6-0.
Yeah.
Corner kick stopped up out front. Cardinals able to get it pushed further away. Caitlin Ackerman pressuring, but Maple Grove passing. Kalaji trying to work between a couple of players. Will leave it back, and now played in by Saladin. Ladado sent it out, or Brazier rather. Right back in, and Hackinson will move it back to Kalaji. Saladin over onto the far side, and this is Mia Omar. Omar crossing out front, a redirect, a big save by Langenfeld.
She had to dive to her. She had to dive to her right to get a piece of that ball. Again, good job by the Crimson to move it inside.
This is a great scoring opportunity.
Really
and a
good.
Huge save by Langenfeld. She has been busy. Caitlin Ackerman first to get a header on it. This one played back toward the net. And a good job by Langenfeld coming out to challenge and just knocking, I think it was McMahon right off the ball in close.
Well, Joe, you talked about it, that the Cardinals need to try and establish some presence down in the Crimson end, and they just haven't been able to do that. Give credit to the Crimson, obviously, for keeping the pressure on down here in the Cardinals side.
Atkinson tripped up. We're going to have a free kick from deep in the corner. It'll essentially be a corner kick from where it's at. And again, Hackinson has been all over the place and creates so much trouble with her speed and skill. She's got a goal and an assist. So Bia Lam taking the free kick. Trapped. Shot is blasted wide. And out of play by Hackinson.
Yeah, I bet Hackinson would like to have that one back because she had a nice look at the net, but she just put too much on that. You're going to see her come in. It's off a defender. That was Ackerman. Oh, coach having a little meal here.
It's dinner time.
It's dinner time, and he's
and
gonna be
again,
pretty relaxed. He's pretty relaxed at 6-0.
Yeah, it's easy to be relaxed when you're up by 6.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the coaching staff on the other side not sitting eating hot dogs.
I think you're correct.
My guess is
I think you're correct.
they might have a tough time stomaching anything at this point. That one played in toward Langenfeld, and she's able to scoop it up. Atkinson can't slip past Johnston on the sideline, but throw in for Maple Grove. Good job in the corner there by Maddie Karen. Shield the ball and let it get out of bounds and get the Cardinals to throw in. And looks like Langenfeld is going to get the hook.
I'm not sure who they put in that because
either.
they only have one goaltender on the roster.
Well, and Jalivia Gallegos was the Cardinal keeper early in the season, and she and Langenfeld were splitting time. Not sure exactly what happened with Gallegos, no longer on the roster, and not seeing a number 9
Nope.
or another keeper on the roster. So long shot is up over the cage, out of play, and a goal kick coming up. So then that begs the question: how do we refer to number 9?
Number 9.
Number 9.
It's number 9.
Number 9.
I think we should call her number 9.
We could call her number 9.
I think so. We'll have to call her number 9.
It's either that, or we give her a goalie nickname.
What is a goalie nickname?
Well, you know, I'm not real familiar with
Howard.
With a lot of.
No, there is the Olympic goalie. Can't think of his first name, but his last name was Howard for the men.
Another shot.
Only
up
one
over
I know.
The cage. Well, you could go with Lagos.
I suppose.
You remember that name.
Yeah.
You could go with Lettieri.
Tino.
Right? Tino Lettieri was a goalkeeper.
We could call her Tino.
Or Lettieri.
Yep.
Or I'm far more familiar with hockey goaltenders. We could go with, a Cheever.
Gump.
Or Gump Worsley. That was going to be number 2.
Or Cesar Maniago. Is that what you're saying?
I'm a fan of Cesar Maniago. At least we're not saying Keith Sawchuk. So is that Riley Showquist Nolan?
It could be. If it is, maybe we should just call her Riley.
Or Showquist
Nolan.
I would rather call her by her given name.
Well, yeah,
if possible.
We knew it.
And,
of course.
And we're being told that the number hidden by the penny with the number 9 on it is number 3. And the roster player number 3 is Riley Showquist Nolan. We have not seen Showquist Nolan out in a player role. So, let's go with that.
All right.
Although, calling her Gump would be all right in my book. Or Caesar.
Maybe not in her book.
Correct.
But, yeah, that is definitely number 3.
Definitely number 3.
So, we will call her Riley, by name Riley
Showquist Nolan. There we go.
Got it.
Now
We're
we
good
know,
to go.
and knowing is half the battle.
Mostly.
So here we are, just over 10 minutes into the second half. Maple Grove on top by 6. Cardinals would just love to get one, just to avoid the shutout. Not how Langenfeld wanted to end her senior season in her career. And certainly, it's tough for a goaltender to understand or to accept that not her fault.
Well, no.
I mean, she was absolutely under a barrage.
Oh, yeah, there's no question.
The entire time she was out there. And, these Crimson have looked incredibly impressive tonight.
They have.
Schulte in the middle, feeding it ahead for Hackinson. Shilquist Nolan will come out and scoop it up in front of her.
Yeah, just a little bit too much on that. Otherwise, we could have seen goal number 7.
And you talked about it. 5 girls scored 6 goals against Park Center on Tuesday night. And now they've got 4 different girls scoring. The 6 so far here tonight. Schulte and McMahon with 2 each. McMahon, the star of the game so far, though, I think, with 2 goals, 2 assists. And here she is with the ball, leaving it back for Alam, and they'll play it back to midfield, where it's taken by Kalaji. And Kalaji, we haven't seen her as much as we did last week because the ball has been so deep in the Cardinal end for so much of this contest. And that's going to be offside. No. Played too far in front of Peyton Taylor, and it's scooped up by Cortez, and she'll just boot it away.
And you know, if you're Coon Rapids, you're just kind of scratching your head trying to figure out what you can do to get your offense going, and you look at the way that Maple Grove has just been controlling the possession.
Well, they're so good, again, with the ball and with moving the ball when they have it.
Right.
And there you see it. There was another good example. The pass was played toward the Maple Grove player. In this instance, it was Mann and McMahon. Mann and McMahon sprinted back to the pass.
Right.
So much easier to stay in control when you're coming to the ball, rather than waiting for the ball to come to you.
No question. No question.
Yeah, great night so far for Maple Grove. Again, the boys win 10-1 over Rogers. The boys, the number 2 seed in the section semifinal. Girls, the number 1 seed. And both with dominant performances on their home field. The girls, unless the Cardinals pull off an astonishing comeback, the girls will be back here for the championship round. And the boys will most likely be on their way to Duluth East. But should the Coon Rapids boys pull off an upset over the top-seeded Greyhounds tonight, they're currently in action right now. If they were able to pull off the upset up there, then both championship contests would be here in Maple Grove.
Yeah, Coach Paco, I saw putting something on Facebook trying to get some alumni to go get on the bus and go up to Duluth with them, so they have some support in the crowd. Hopefully, he did get some people to go with him.
Well, it's a beautiful night, and it's a beautiful time of the year to be up in Duluth.
Sure.
Definitely a different reaction on the 2 benches. All smiles on the home side. A little bit harder to smile for the Cardinals, trailing by 6.
Yeah.
Cardinals with a throw-in deep in the Maple Grove end. The flip toss by Caitlin, headed by Courtney, but going wide out the end line, and a goal kick coming up for Maple Grove.
Yeah, it gets a nice reaction from the crowd here at Maple Grove.
It always looks cool.
It does look cool, no question about it.
And she does get some good power out of this. That's a great reaction from Emma Travis coming to challenge them. Whoa, wait.
Don't throw it off my face.
Okay, here's a little Cardinal trivia for you. There was once a boys soccer player that was very good at the handspring throw-in, and he did it all the time. Who was it?
Not Sargent. I'm not going to get it. Give me a hint. What's his first and last name?
No.
I do not know.
He was a wrestler.
There's so many wrestlers.
He came from a wrestling family. There were at least 2 and I think 3 brothers. I'm pretty sure it was 3 brothers that were all wrestlers.
Where's Hennon when I need him to feed me the answer? I do not know.
Hennon would know.
Yeah.
Hennon would know. He was, I believe, a state entrant as a wrestler. Believe he was, may have been long enough ago that he was part of that 3rd place team for the Cardinals wrestling squad. His first name, I'm not even entirely sure on what his name is because he went by initials.
I don't remember.
His
PJ,
last
PJ.
Oh, there you. Whoa, we got.
Okay, PJ. What was his name? Now I'm knowing Mac. God, I knew it.
Good call. Good call. Way to go, Shapiro.
Yeah, I got half of it.
I only had to spoon feed you.
Yeah, I like to be spoon fed.
Well, at your age.
Well, I'm old. What can I tell you?
There's another flip handspring throw in and goes off one head and then able to clear it away from Maple Grove was Saladin. Bloomquist challenging on the far side against Mia Omar. Lost out of bounds. It'll be a Cardinal throw in. Centennial is on top now 2-0.
There it is. Number 2 seed Centennial with 3 seed Champlain Park.
And should that score hold, the Centennial Cougars would be coming here to take on Maple Grove in the championship. Again, unless the Cardinals pull off a miraculous turnaround here in the last 21 minutes and 45 seconds.
And it would be miraculous at this point.
It would have to be.
Yeah.
Again, at this time, the Cardinals just have to look at it. You can't look at it as we're down 6-0. They need to come out and let's go out and get one. We've got to scrape something, salvage something out of this contest. No one in red down there came here tonight to get run off the field.
No, definitely not. No question.
Here's Hackinson again and trying to feed it through. It's broken up. And out of bounds on the near side.
Just about to the halfway point of this second half, almost to the 20-minute mark.
Jacobs trying to get around the edge and pulled that a little bit by Maddie Haas, and that'll draw the foul. A free kick coming up for Maple Grove. Trying to get it over to that back post, and now they'll play it back. Alam will touch it along for Emma Travis. Back to Alam in the middle. And here's Jacobs on the near side. Jacobs will tee it up, get it back to the middle. Skip through. Here's an opportunity, and Omar was stopped up by Bloomquist right in front of the goal crease.
Well, good job by Maddie to get rid of it. Clear it out, clear it away from trouble.
This one fired in, and the save made right into the bread basket of Riley Shoquist-Nolan. First time in a while they put a shot on goal.
Well, they need quite a few of them.
Maple Grove.
Oh no, I was thinking Coon Rapids. Coon Rapids needs it. They're that way.
Coon Rapids is going the other way.
They're to your left.
They're the ones in red.
They're the ones in red. Maple Grove's in white.
Correct. I'll remind you again in 10 minutes.
About what?
Oh boy. Oh, we have fun.
We do have fun.
Mackenzie Nash checking in for the Cardinals will replace Alicia Brazier. A lot of the Cardinal soccer players, multi-sport athletes, and certainly none want to be thinking about their winter sport yet.
No, definitely
but
not.
I'm thinking about it as I watch. There's a number of, the Ackerman twins, obviously basketball players.
Yep.
You've got Brazier and Bloomquist out there who are hockey players. Yep. Genevieve Swanson, I believe, is a Nordic skier. I see a number of the other
multi-sport athletes.
A number of the other players I know do play other sports. I don't want to say them wrong though, so I'm just going to stop while I'm ahead.
Yeah.
Or
just say the ones you know for sure.
At least slightly behind. Yeah, it's not easy to even to continue to compete when you're down like this, but
correct.
I can empathize.
Well, and two, it's going to be an interesting girls hockey season.
It will be,
because they'll be merging with Champlin Park, and Jim Coltis takes over the program.
That's kind of what I was where I was looking at the hockey players and some skilled hockey players that are down there on this team, and should be an interesting hockey season. Just to see, how they combine with Champlin Park.
Yep.
Now, most of these girls have played with Champlin Park through the youth levels where they had been a co-op the last couple of years. So that, I think, may work out better. And, of course,
playing against them.
On Tuesday, the hockey players on the soccer team went out and played against their goaltender. Sammy Miller, this from Lake Park.
Yep, their old
goalkeeper.
Their old goalkeeper.
And their former goalkeeper. Yep. You can't call her old.
No, well, that's true. I can't call many people old.
Oh, Langenfeld's going to come back in. So gave her a little bit of her breather and a little bit of a pep talk and let her head back out. Showquist Nolan doing an admirable job. Only saw a couple of shots, but able to handle the position and the stress. But yeah, it should be an interesting hockey season, and like I said, I can empathize. I was on the wrong side of an 11-1 score in a section final as a junior in high school.
Yeah, those aren't fun.
And trust me, I know it was not easy for us to go out and continue to compete as we got later in that game. And not all of us did.
And that must not have pleased Coach Baxter whatsoever.
I know. No, and again, what I think would have disappointed him the most was those who did
give up,
kind of give up, and stop putting forth the effort that he demanded. It was a pretty good hockey team we lost to, but
nonetheless,
it's here we are. If just a few years later, and
about 3,
it still stings. It still stings a little bit. I did score in that game though.
You got the 1.
No.
I thought you said 11-1. Oh, did they wave it off?
No.
What happened? Did you get in a fight?
No.
Take it away from you.
I scored on the wrong goal.
No.
Yeah.
But at least you hit the back of the net.
It was
the other guy's net.
Yeah, the rough
your own net.
The rough part was it was the first goal of the game, and just a little miscommunication and between me and the goaltender. Went off my toe and underneath him. It was not easy.
No, I can imagine not.
But I only bring that up and I only admit to that so that the girls on this field can understand that, well,
it happens.
The sting gets far less. You do remember it, but
it's been 40 years.
Hey, now.
How many years actually has it been?
Well, 27. Would have been 1990.
Yeah.
Would have been spring.
Crazy.
Spring of 1990.
Crazy, I tell you.
Yeah, the hard part is you don't forget it, but it's the pain is the pain does lessen considerably.
I would think so after 27 years, but it always stands out in your mind, I'm sure.
I assume that another 27 years from now, I will still remember.
I'm sure. Just not as well. It'll take you a little longer to think about it.
Or maybe I will have hoped to forget from 27 years from now.
Or maybe in 27 years you think you won 11-1. So that could be too.
I doubt. That I doubt. We were that close to our dream of playing in the state high school hockey tournament. And it all went south pretty quickly at the Met Center that January or February morning. I suppose it was probably afternoon.
Probably.
But either way. Way back when. But these things happen, and you'll find a way to get by them.
Yes, you will.
But it's still the Cardinals, you know, with 12 and a half minutes left to play, have an opportunity here to try and just regain a little bit of dignity if they can put a little pressure on and get a goal. You know, last week when we did their game at Coon Rapids, and Maple Grove did control most of the contest, but the Cardinals kept them from getting those great scoring opportunities. So it was a 3-0 game until the Cardinals scored with just over 4 minutes remaining to avoid the shutout. And I think that was a big goal in that contest.
It was.
I think it would be an even bigger goal should they find one here to avoid the shutout tonight, because you know, Maple Grove just absolutely sailing, and really wouldn't, I don't think, hurt their confidence or you know, anything along those lines, but at least the Cardinals would have a little something to take away from the evening.
Correct. No, there's no question about it. You never want to be shut out. I mean, you always want to get on the board, even if it's a game like this where you're down by 6 goals. You just want to get, you want to be able to score a goal in any, obviously at least a goal in any game you play.
Well, Crimson just doing such a great job all game long of just keeping the Cardinals out of their end.
They really have.
Nice move by Bloomquist. Nearly got around the corner. Good recovery effort by the Crimson defender to tip it free. In the middle is Luca Ralph. Touch it back for Natalie Ellingson, who bring it up the sideline and get it ahead now just over the midfield line. Lexi Miller. Play it back for Ralph. And they'll reverse to the far side of the field with Hannah Zahn. And now Ralph at midfield. Centering pass broken up, turned around by Courtney Ackerman. Far end, cleared out of bounds by Abby Jacobs.
You get a few more athletes in for the Cardinals as we hit the 10-minute mark remaining in this contest.
Crimson quickly clear it back to the sideline and play it back up the near midfield as we're down under 10 minutes remaining in the contest.
They do such a good job of getting it out of harm's way quickly and not allowing Coon Rapids to set up any type of offense whatsoever.
Good job by Langenfeld coming out and taking that one away.
Well, you know, you have to be aggressive. Langenfeld aggressive there, just making sure she beat the attacker to the ball.
I think that was McMahon looking for number 3 on the night, complete the hat trick. With the Crimson, I think, clearly in cruise control mode here. Getting a few of their deeper bench players out there, get them a little more playing time in a meaningful game. And it was not McMahon. McMahon is not on the field.
Yeah, I suppose at this point, with under 10 minutes, this little over 8.5 minutes to go. You could take some of your players out that are starters.
Well, and you should.
And you should. And you can
for
get
a couple of reasons. Number one,
don't want them to get hurt.
Avoid injury. Number two, there's no real benefit in running up the score. So you're better off pulling them off, get some rest, get some your younger players an opportunity to play in a big game. And,
no question.
And that's exactly what Coach Levon has done. And kudos to the way the Crimson have come out here tonight.
He'll be back here on Tuesday.
For all the marbles.
All the marbles to go to state.
And again, that's, I mean, obviously I think the hockey tournament is the premier tournament in the high school tournament in the state. But any state tournament is a thing of dreams for young athletes from the time they are very young and really get into whichever sport it is. So for these young ladies, taking one more step towards fulfilling a dream and really completing a mission that they have been set out on all season long, that they have done so well at. Oh, Courtney just got underneath it and put it just over the crossbar. That was the best scoring opportunity of the game for Coon Rapids.
Oh, no question about that. And there's, you can see the throw-in from her sister. Again,
on a hop.
Yeah, just off the top of her shoe. Didn't get a good square shot off.
And if she were able to get just a little bit more and get on top of it, I don't know that Cortez would have had an opportunity to make a save on it. Bloomquist had her pocket picked. Crimson will track it down in the corner. Abby Jacobs there for Maple Grove to move it to Luca Ralph. And along they come. It bounces away from Izzy Ampey near midfield. Cardinals challenge, win it back. Alyssa Brazier into the corner for Genevieve Swanson. Swanson can't get around the corner. Tipped out of bounds by Natalie Ellingson. A little too much on that pass, out of bounds right in front of the Maple Grove bench. Cardinals can't control, lose it out of bounds right at midfield. And it'll be a throw in for Maple Grove. Cardinals going to send out a wholesale substitution. 2, 4, 6, 8. That's all the girls they got on the bench, or close to it. Foul called against the Cardinals, and a free kick coming up for Maple Grove.
You see time ticking away for under 5 minutes.
Tried to go direct, but well wide, out of play. And a goal kick, Coon Rapids. And here they come.
Yeah, a bunch of substitutions for Coon Rapids with 4.5 minutes remaining. Well, the Cardinals came in here tonight, Joe, knowing that they were going to have a monumental task ahead of them to beat Maple Grove, and you know, you gave up 5 goals in that first half, just 1 here in the second.
And the Crimson clearly have taken their foot off the gas.
Yeah, well,
for most of the second half. And again, trying to get a few more players, some experience in a big game. Good job Coming back to defend there by Maddie Karen. She'll clear her way on the near side. Just over 3.5 minutes remaining. We have a final now in the other semifinal.
Yep.
It's Centennial 3, Champlain Park 0.
They'll be here. They'll be coming here next Tuesday night to take on Maple Grove. Be another doubleheader. Oh no, wait.
No.
Only if the
only if the Cardinals win. Hey,
See,
it could be a doubleheader.
I was thinking,
stay
good.
positive.
Absolutely.
It should be a
you heard it here
doubleheader.
first.
If it is indeed a doubleheader, it is, and that would mean we will be back here.
Yes, next Thursday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, I mean, correct.
If we are back here next Tuesday,
Yep.
It is all from the positive vibes set forth by one Howie Shapiro.
That's right.
But as good as Maple Grove was, we saw the boys' Maple Grove team.
Yep.
As good as they were,
Duluth East.
Duluth East is
really
the number
good.
1 seed, so Duluth East must be even better. But, it's...
yeah, on any given night.
Correct.
As Mike Burlingame says, anything can happen.
I had no idea that quote was attributed
absolutely
to the one and only Mike Burlingame.
Well, there are a lot of quotes attributed to Mike Burlingame.
Directly or indirectly.
Absolutely.
That one, however, is attributed to Howie Shapiro.
Yeah.
Actually, in that blooper reel, wasn't it me saying absolutely all the time and you saying certainly?
Certainly.
I know it was certainly and absolutely.
Those were the key words.
But I'm pretty sure it was you were certainly and I was absolutely, and it was bad. Check it out. It lives somewhere. Somewhere online.
CTN Sports Night bloopers.
Somewhere on YouTube. There
Back in the
is
day.
That blooper tape, and I still find great humor in it when I watch.
Me too.
It was so hot.
It was very warm that day. Oh, I was sweating.
And it took us
forever.
80 takes to get that done.
Took you 80 times to tie your tie backwards. You kept wanting to tie it correctly.
Sorry.
I don't blame you.
Final minute of the contest here. Maple Grove going to breeze past this semifinal. Now outscoring their opponents in the section tournament 12-0.
It's impressive. 6 goals in the first game, obviously, and 6 goals in this game.
Diving save attempt came up empty.
Yep.
That's how you stay active on the bench.
Well, you got to keep busy.
Yeah, fortunately, they don't have to keep as warm as it
No,
could have been.
It's a nice evening.
It actually turned out quite nice. A couple nights ago, it got down into the low 40s.
Yep.
Frost advisory. I don't know that we actually got below freezing, but
I don't know. I had a couple of mornings where my windshield was frosted. I had to scrape it.
So, but tonight it warmed up a bit. The wind not really a factor, and an impressive showing for the Maple Grove Crimson.
No question. They played well, and they're going to move on.
We will take a short break. We will be back to wrap things up for Maple Grove after this. Back at Maple Grove High School, all smiles for the top-seeded Crimson as they cruise past this semifinal. 6-0, the final score over the 5th-seeded Coon Rapids Cardinals. And you got to hand it to these Crimson. They really came out. They were aggressive. They brought intensity, and they did not share the ball. They jumped on the Cardinals early and kept them down all night long.
You can see why they're the number 3 rated team in the state. They're so efficient. They controlled the action 99% of the time down in the Cardinal end. The Cardinals did not really have an opportunity to threaten, got a couple of shots. But you give them credit in terms of the Crimson because they did such a good job of controlling this game from start to finish. Cardinals would have loved to have gotten on the board, but their season's going to end with a 6-0 defeat to Maple Grove.
Yeah, the Crimson up 5-0 at the break, and they added to it again. Just a minute into the second half, teeing it up was Schulte, her second goal of the game. The Cardinals got a little more pressure. A great opportunity there late in the game for Courtney Ackerman, but sent it up and over the net. And really, that was their best scoring opportunity of the contest.
Yeah, and then you're going to take a look at the stats. 23 shots attempted by Maple Grove, 13 in the net, 6 in the back of it. Cardinals just, they did get 4 shots on goal, but look at the goal kicks. I mean, 14, which means that they're spending a lot of time down in that Cardinal end.
And again, the Crimson 6-0 win over Park Center in the quarterfinals. Now 6-0 win here in the semifinal rounds, and they cruise into the championship. They'll be back here to host that championship game against number 2 seed Centennial. The Cardinals, the only one to pull off an upset in the entire bracket with that 2-1 win over 4th-seeded Spring Lake Park in a shootout in the quarterfinal on Tuesday night. And so it should be a great matchup to determine who will represent Section 5 AA in the state tournament. We've got football on the road. Final regular season Friday night for the Cardinals as they travel to take on new division rival Armstrong Falcons. That'll be here live at 7 o'clock on Friday the 13th. Volleyball playoffs will be here on Tuesday. That is, unless Shapiro's prediction comes true, the Cardinals boys pull off a big upset over Duluth East in their semifinal tonight. Then we'd be right back here for a section championship for the boys soccer team. But either way, we'll have some tournament action for you here on Tuesday night, and then football on Wednesday, the 18th, the final regular season game of the year, Cardinals' final division contest as they host the Hopkins Royals. But that is going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score from Maple Grove, it's the Crimson 6, the Cardinals 0. Want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.